Okay, good morning. Happy Wednesday. Excuse me. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. I'm your host and pilot, as always, Uncle B. Today, we're back in the Junkers 52, departing from Roseburg and heading up to Seattle-Tacoma. It says about a 2-hour, 43-minute flight. I think, based on how well we've been doing, I think we can get there a little bit quicker. We only have two navigation aids. They're both Vortex. One's right here in Eugene, Oregon. And then we'll just continue on up towards Seattle. And we've got another Vortex there, but we're going to land on runway 16 right because the wind is blowing this way, but it's a bit of a crosswind right now. But that's fine. We'll make it work. Matter of fact, let me just check that. Morning, Aussie Holden fan. How are you? Let's just double check to make sure the wind hasn't shifted. And then we'll get ready to go here shortly. Okay, we got a headwind now. Okay, perfect. That's even better. All right. So once we're close enough, we'll call in probably when we're just about around here somewhere. We should be able to call in and get our landing clearance. We may, I don't know, we may come around this way. It may give us a wide left pattern entry there. I don't know if they would tell us to go straight in. So, okay, no problem, Aussie. Hopefully you have a good time in GT7. All good, no worries at all. And once we spawn in, we'll have a few minutes of silence because today is the anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor. So we will have a few minutes of silence to honor the fallen, and then we will get going. So wait a few minutes, see. Yeah, absolutely. I understand. I completely understand. I've been playing. Yeah, it is a beautiful place. I've not been. I'd like to go. I would really like to visit it one day. Um, yeah, I've been playing Elder Scrolls Online. I'm working on a character, just kind of taking my time with him, and so yeah, I thought about streaming it, but I don't know yet. It's a lot to. But anyway, so yeah, I completely understand. Mix it up. Nothing wrong with that. So yeah, we'll wait a few minutes. I'll sip on my coffee a bit more, and we'll see who pops in, and then we'll get ready to get going here. Yeah, people I've talked to who've gone there said it's an amazing experience. One of my army buddies was stationed there for a while before he moved back to the mainland, I guess. um, he liked it, but it was just he wanted to stay there, but it was just so expensive to live there. So he's like, I just can't do it. So he had stayed there for a little while after he got out, and it was a struggle. So, but I would like to visit there one day. It's on the bucket list, as they like to call it. Yeah, that, and I'd like to visit the cemeteries there at Normandy, the D-Day, where the landings were, and all the cemeteries there for that. I'd like to visit that one day. So, uh, yeah. Let's see here. This is today's route. So what we're going to do, kind of just talking here while we're waiting to see if anybody else is going to pop in. We're going to take off runway 34, and we're just going to fly straight for a little bit as we climb, and then we'll pick up our our vortac here to at Eugene, Oregon, right there. So I was looking to see. There's not a lot of wind here right now, and I thought, well, this we'll take off this way, and then matter of fact, this let me make sure that hasn't changed at all. Suddenly, yeah, it says variable calm winds, so we'll just go 3-4 then. That way we don't have to do a massive right or left turn or anything crazy like that. We just fly straight for a little bit and then pick up our course or our vortac. So this is the shortest part here to Eugene, and then we have a huge bit here to Seattle. So, and I'll put in some we'll have some snow. I've got the clouds already, but we'll have some snow on the ground just to make it, kind of a nice flight. So, yeah. That should be, I think that's Mount St. Helens right there. I could be wrong. Nope, yeah, it is. Yeah, that's St. Helens right there. Wait, is it? I think that's it. Or is it? Maybe it's that one. That might be, I can't remember, Mount Rainier, maybe? Morning, Paradox, how are you? They should have these kinds of things labeled like, especially these tall. I think Yakima, or not, St. Helens is here. I think that's where, yeah, I think that's it. Because I know when I was in Yakima for a couple weeks, or when I was in the Guard running errands, oh, nice. We talked to some people who were, from the area originally, and they were talking about that. Yeah, I think that's Mount Rainier there. Yeah. I think that's what it is. Anyway. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah, that one right there is St. Helens. Nope, that's not. Nope, that's not it. It was right. Where'd it go? There's St. Helens. It looks like something that would have blown up right there. Yeah. So St. Helens, and I think that's Mount Rainier. Anyway, let's see. All right, I'm gonna spawn in. I'm gonna get the time and everything set, and get the snow on the ground. And we'll have a few minutes of silence for Pearl Harbor, and then we'll get going. Okay. So we're not. It's going to be a bit of a flight, so you could tell. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right. All right, let's do this. I've already got the fuel set. Let's add just a little bit of snow. It doesn't have to be a lot today. Oh, you're going to have to add a little bit more than that. Oops. Is it thunder in the background? No, I think somebody's closing a door. No, no, somebody just closed the door. Some people slam their doors sometimes, and the walls in my apartment are pretty thin, so at least get. Okay, let's try that. How's that look? Okay, that's good right there. Excellent. All right, let's have a few minutes of silence then, and we'll get going. All right. All right, we got things set here. Make sure there's got the fuel. We don't need the ring lights on. All right. So you had a. Oh, okay. Because I did hear somebody closing their door, and sometimes they pull very hard on the door and it slams. So I thought maybe that's what it was, but okay. All right. I think we are all set otherwise. All right. Let's go. Away we go. Now, according to the chart, we're going to climb to 2,900. Let's go ahead and put some heat on the carbs. And away we go. Turn off our Ooh, let's get that picture right there. We've had a few. Well, it's been raining here where I live, but it's not been like a torrential downpour. But there's been times where it's just like, oh, I guess I'd rather the rain than the snow, to be honest. Not that I have to shovel a driveway or anything, but rain's a little bit easier to deal with than the snow. All right, there's our pictures of the day for there. The flight. All right. We're gonna keep our heading here. Get a little bit of climb already. The air will get colder. All right, go ahead and back off here, and I think. Get our flaps up. Oopsie. And all of a sudden it noses over. Yeah. Yeah, we've had those here where it's just like, it seemed like over the summer we had some really major thunderstorms roll through where I live, and it would be like 2 or 3 in the morning and it sounded like it was just right outside my bedroom window. So, yeah. It takes me a while. I lay there and then I'm like, okay, what was that? And I'm like, oh, this is. Because then, you hear the boom and then you see see the flash all of a sudden. It's like somebody just put on a huge spotlight right in my bedroom window, and then you hear the boom. Anyway, all right. We're doing good. We climbed out okay. Little bit of an iffy climb out because there was that low mountainy area there right in front of the. Just as you take off, you gotta. Yeah, I can understand. Yeah, but we made it okay. We're climbing still. I think we can go ahead and put this on dim. Right. Got a little bit of light there. Let's go with the ones. I like it. Well, yeah, I would agree, but I mean, you're only human, It's. I'm a veteran. There's stuff like that scares the crap out of me for obvious reasons, but we're only human. I like these little lights here on the ground as the sun's still coming up. That's pretty cool. It was one of the big things. I remember when this, it was like earlier this year, a lot of people were complaining about the lights. I think they kind of got that resolved now. Looks good. Yeah, that's perfectly understandable too, Aussie. Yeah, could see where that would be a reminder. Hello, Mila. How are you? Nice to see you here. Welcome. The middle of the week to you. So no stream tomorrow. We'll be back Friday, A319 going from Bristol to Malaga. And then Saturday we're doing the San Francisco to Chicago. Hey, Daniel. Okay, I have evidence now. Everybody sees Daniel in the chat. So later on, don't tell me you weren't here. Having been out there helped us with the... Yeah, that's completely understandable, Aussie. Absolutely. That's a very reasonable response to it. So that's part of, unfortunately, that's part of humanity, being a human being. We experience things that most people never will, and I'm doing okay. Yeah, just got out of Roseburg just fine, and we're heading towards Eugene, Oregon, and then we're heading to Seattle from there. I thought you were, quite honestly, Daniel, but like I said, maybe I lost track of days because I did stream later on Monday than normal, so it might have been that. I don't know, but that's glad to have you here. But yeah, I'm doing fine. Just yeah. nice snowy area here. I had chicken nuggets for dinner last night with sweet and sour sauce from McDonald's. Yeah, I had what was left over the pizza for lunch, kind of a late lunch. And then I was watching Mick and Paul's for a while, and then I was like looking at the time, and I was like, oh, I got to eat some dinner, so I just ordered some chicken nuggets, fries, and a drink from McDonald's. So nothing exciting, trust me. Nothing that exciting at all. Oh, and here comes the sound stutters. Always worries me. I always think at any moment now it's gonna... Game's just gonna outright crash, but hopefully not. Ooh. A little off course there. So we're 33 nautical miles from the vortex there. Tune into Seattle's. What? The pizza? No, I don't homemade my. Come on, I'm not that big of a. The only thing I can cook is like a pork loin in the oven, or some burgers, or chicken. I can warm up a can of soup, but no, I do not make my own pizza. No, I ordered it from Papa John's. I don't have the patience to do a homemade pizza. Trust me. Nor do I want to. That's just too much work for just myself. So. I ordered it 2 nights ago. I just had some leftover, a couple slices left over of pepperoni pizza, so I had that for lunch. I was gonna eat it for breakfast, but I was like, nah. So I ate it for lunch, and then next thing you know, it was like dinner time. I'm like, ooh, I gotta eat. So, and tonight, Mick and I think we're still tracking to be on the farm tonight, for his stream. I gotta make sure I've got stuff to. Oh, no! It was from McDonald's. No, no, it was the McDonald's chicken nuggets. I haven't bought any frozen ones. Just heat them up in the oven. Good morning, Mick. How are you? Nice to see you here. Yeah, I was just saying. I think we're still set for the farm tonight, or this afternoon for me, tonight for you. So, yeah, looking forward to it. Good stuff. Matter of fact, if you're not already want to watch us have fun on the farm tonight, you give Vic a follow over on Twitch. They do a lot of different games on his channel. Him and Pulse. Do Modern Warfare 2. What else? Do farming. What else is there? I don't think you and Bex have gone back to Astroneer, because I think you were still working on some stuff on Astroneer for the DLC. Got some more stuff planned for the future, I think. So, oh, he does ETS and ATS as well. That's right. I didn't think about that. Connection issues. Okay. You talk about like internet problems? Is that what you mean? Hopefully it's resolved before we go live. Right. We're still climbing at a slow, not a super fast pace, but I think it's pretty reasonable. Climb rate right now. A little bit more warmth for carbs. Even though I don't have the icing on, I just want to get in the habit of. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are always on the hunt for free to play. Anything that you can do would seem like it would be a good stuff to watch. Yeah. So next. Oh. 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 Okay. Now, hopefully, it doesn't cause too much of a problem for us. I'm kind of keen to get back on the farm with you and have a laugh and make some money. almost 20, just under, almost about 23. Got engineer coming around on Saturday to do some. Okay. Hopefully they get to the bottom of it. Well, coffee here. Oh, there we go. Let's see, let me just pull up the map here. How far off the track are we? Oh, wait. No, well, okay, we're right next to it. Alright, it's not super bad. So, yeah, we'll do that tonight. Fingers crossed so we don't have any issues. And then, so that'd be good to do that. And then, no streaming for me tomorrow. Got some appointments and stuff to take care of. We can go ahead and lean it just a bit more. Eventually, I think it's just going to kind of level off here and just cruise for the rest of the way. I think I put enough fuel. It says we got enough fuel to go past Seattle, but sometimes I don't think that the thing is an accurate representation of the fuel mileage. You know, how far you could go on half a tank of fuel. So 50% of your fuel load. So I put in 65. So we just hit 50 now. Or was it 50? Maybe it's 58. It's like 58. Alright, so we're doing good on fuel. Alright, and 7 months, yes. Thank you, Mick. Appreciate that. Yes, it has gone. I was matter of fact, I think I'm about the same on Captain Arish's channel and 7 month streak, and I was like, man, yeah, it's gone quick, absolutely. All right, our next 116, 1680. 680. Probably have to look at it again because I'll probably forget. Ooh, wow. Oh, wow. That's not good. Well, so just out of curiosity, so if you were to pay the 200 pounds to get out of the contract, is there a better service available that you could, that it would make sense to drop the current provider? Ooh, excuse me. The current provider? I mean, I would think that if they know that there's a better, like there's a better competition out there, you would think that they would go out there and resolve the problem to keep you as a customer. But it sounds to me like they're not particularly interested in doing that. Or at least that's the sense that I get. I have to say, my provider's spectrum is pretty good. Uh, if I have an issue, I call and they either walk me through something to change the settings, or they'll send somebody out, or like if I go on the app and if there's an outage in the area, it'll say that there's an outage and that they're working on it. But generally, it only on a rare occasion or every so often. The thing is, we've been with them for 15 years and they treat us, yeah, that's what I would tell them. Like, I've been a loyal customer and I can't get quality connection. You guys always have to come out here and tinker around, and everything goes fine for a little while, and then it goes right back. It sucks again. So. It's, yeah, if there's somebody better, I mean, I'd just be like, well, either I fork over the 200 pounds and leave you guys and never come back because I can't, you guys aren't a quality provider anymore. If I can find somebody who'll do the job better, I'm happy to give them my money. Well, like when I first moved up here, and it was like Time Warner was was one of the major internet providers in the area. Now there's Spectrum. They changed names a bunch of times, but they they're they've gotten better. At first, they were really really bad. Like it was like trying to call and I'd be like, we don't think there's a problem. Well, what do you mean there's not a problem? All right. But yeah, they've gotten a lot better, I think. But if I have to change it, I would probably just get my internet through Verizon, my cell phone carrier. 'Cause I get all these messages from Spectrum like, oh, if you make us your cell phone carrier and you can save all this kind of money for blah blah blah. And yeah. So anyway, hopefully everybody's enjoying their Wednesday. Yeah. trying to think if there was a story time for the day. I thought I had one in my mind, but I guess I don't. Take my vitamins real quick. All right. Now, I didn't really fuss with the temperature for today's flight. I think, yeah, doing pretty good with this. Cruising along. That must be Eugene Airport right there. Yep. Should be it. You know, I was just thinking about what Aussie was saying earlier about the thunderstorms and all that where he lives right now, and you know, it just reminded me. We'll have a quick story time. So after we got back from Iraq, right, we'd gone through reintegration and our, you know, leave and all that. Anyway, what happened was, so we go on a brigade run, which is, you know, you got hundreds and hundreds of people in formations, you know, different formations stretched out for seemingly forever, right? And, you know, of course, the bad part is you have people with different running abilities. Some people are short legs, some people are long leg. You know, some people are naturally good runners, some people aren't, you know. But anyway, we're doing this run, and it wasn't like it was super far, right? It was just supposed to be kind of like a little quote-unquote fun run, which I don't know that I've ever been on a run that's really fun. But as we were coming near the end of the run, and I don't know who came up with this idea, because really they should have been punched in the throat for it, but they have cannons going off as we're running by, and for people who deployed, it was like the whole formation about dove to the ground. And it's like, in what world would you do that to anybody? That doesn't make any sense. 8 Celsius. Ooh. Ooh. Better get the thermals on, Mick. But yeah, so I completely understand, but it was like somebody did that, and it was just like, are you sick in the head or something? Like, who would have come up with that kind of a plan? Like, honestly, who would have thought that would have been a good idea? But yeah, it was like everybody jumped out of their skin. It was like, it was so not expected that it was just like, I mean, there was some serious cursing going on in that formation that day. Like, really? So yeah, I can going on a 3, 5, 6. So we're not picking up that one just yet. Yeah, I'll never. That's for that's the localized there for. Yep, should be right there at the landing there at Eugene, Oregon. There we go. And it wasn't like it was just one time. It was like they'd do another one. And it's just like, okay, now this isn't like a joke. This is, well, it's a joke now. You know, we thought, okay, maybe one, and they'd say, okay, maybe that was a bad idea. No, they just kept it up, and it's just like, Yeah. All right. Let's just have a look at her. A little bit more on there. Not again. I'm just doing this so that if I get in the habit of it, so that when we do add more, I guess, realism to things, we'll already have some good habits developed as much as possible. So this leg is supposed to be 202, we'll say 203 nautical miles. So now this is the funny thing, right? I would think still with Seattle being a major airport that their even if it's a vortex, that it would still be, well, maybe not. Maybe vortex aren't by nature high powered, that reach out pretty far out. So I don't know. I guess some things here. But anyway, hopefully we'll pick that up soon. Probably be halfway there and then we'll pick it up. There we are. Well, we had one person in the sky with us. I think they landed somewhere. Yeah, I got up and took a shower this morning real quick. Ran next door, got me some coffee creamer at the little mini mart. Got some little chocolate donuts. Just to get something in my tummy. Little chocolate donuts and coffee. Breakfast of champions. Or as we like to call them in the Army, fat pills. Anywho's. Oh, there it goes. Ta-da! Look at that. Oh, I guess I was wrong. I thought it was going to be like, we'd be way farther into flight. So we only done like 7, nope, about 9, almost 10 nautical miles. Probably a little bit more than 9, 10 nautical miles. So there we go. Got our needle there. We're on our way to Seattle. I do appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out today. Nice to see you all here. Lurkers and chatters alike. Change this. So yeah, I'll do some jetliner stuff. So Oh yeah. So here's the thing. So I'm part of two virtual airlines, right? Speaking about what I deployed interstate alongside. All right, take care, Milla. Um, let me see. Uh, I found it hard to say. Yes. Yes, I can. Yeah. It's interesting you're saying that. When I speaking of Washington, um, so we went up to Yakima for 2 weeks for training, and it's high desert. We're just driving as fast, like seemingly as fast as possible in these little M113 personnel carriers, and all that. And when I got back from our 2 weeks, my buddy at the time, who I don't know if we still working together. I don't remember. Maybe not. I can't remember. But anyway, um, I was over at his house. He had a barbecue and stuff, and you know, and I felt out of place. And it wasn't like we had deployed and done anything other than just training. But yeah, I felt completely out of place there. You know, it was the weirdest feeling. But when you deploy and then somebody does what they did with the cannons, it's just like it was like somebody was having a laugh, and I think now, of course, I could never prove this, but I think it was somebody who hadn't deployed, hadn't understood that people in that formation had probably come under fire during the deployment. We had rocket attacks on our base there in Iraq. Matter of fact, one landed not far from our little what we call our evac shack. We had an area where just the evac medics hung out. We were, if we were on 24-hour duty, it landed right near there. And so, yeah, when people do that, it's kind of like, I don't know if they thought it was a good idea, like, oh, you're just going to have to get over it. We're going to, or whatever. But it's just like, it's not, to me, it wasn't good leadership at all. And I honestly, it would not have surprised me. Or what should have happened was the brigade commander, who's a full bird colonel, should have stopped the formation, gone over and chewed somebody's ass out, and relieved them of their duties, and then we could have continued on. Because a real leader would have said, that's not acceptable. We're not helping our soldiers who are already dealing with possibly the first time they've had to deal with PTSD, So, yeah, it's just stupid stuff like that. I'm just like, what were you thinking? But yeah, I've done that before, just annual training when I was a part-time soldier. You come back and it's just like, okay, now what? Yeah, it's a very, or like, I don't know if I ever told this story. Yeah, so yeah, let's just have story time while we're at it. What the heck? So like when I came back from Iraq, and one of my fellow soldiers and I drove all the way from Savannah to California. We stopped along the way. We went on part of Route 66, right? And my mom basically had told me. She said, when you get here, all sorts of people want to say hi to you and everything. I said, Mom, I don't want to be paraded around like that. I'm not there for that. I'm there to relax, spend time with family. If people happen to stop by, it's great, but I don't want to be, let's go here and talk to this person. No. And one of our family friends, he was a medic in Vietnam. And him and his wife came over for dinner while I was there. Just started talking. And it was just like, we just, for whatever reason, we just started talking about our experiences and everything. And when they left for the evening, my aunt and my mom looked at me and I'm like, what? Well, I thought you didn't want to talk about it. I said, it wasn't like I planned it, you know? I didn't have this idea in my head that I wanted to just talk about all these things. It just happened. Oh, well, oh, it's just like, you know, oh, if I had not said anything, oh, you're bottling things up. And you talk and they're like, what's going on here? I thought you didn't want to talk. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to do? Take all the words back? Yeah, I like when we got back from Afghanistan and we'd have done our reintegration and leave. I think we got on leave. No, that was yeah. So it was before Christmas week because we came back. We had a little bit of time off, and then we did Christmas leave. We could take 30 days for Christmas for the holidays, but we went out. It was Veterans Day, and so I was voluntold go. You got to be in the parade and everything. It was one of the worst experiences ever. We're marching. Everybody's so rigid because we're like, people are waving at us, and we're like, can we wave back? No, I don't know. Should we? And so, of course, when we got done, everybody's like, yeah, we probably should have told you guys to relax a little bit, wave at the folks in the crowd, you know? But it was just like the most awkward feel. Like, I never liked parades like that because I felt like I was on display. It was not a very comfortable feeling, right? It just gave me the heebie-jeebies, you know. Yeah, I never. I mean, I've been in like when I was in the guard in our little armory was in there in Concord, California. We used to do 4th of July parades, you know, and it was fun because we get a Humvee and we put on we camouflage our faces and all that stuff. The kids loved it, you know, like, and so we'd hop out and do our little set up our perimeter around the Humvee, and then we'd get up and walk for a little while, and we'd stop and all hop in the Humvee, and then, you know, it was like we just tried to make it fun, and the kids just ate it up, right? But it was, you know, but it's kind of like, I don't like being put on display like that. Like, why can't I be the one that sits down and they can come up and shake my hand? Why do I got to be the one walking? Yeah, but yeah, I've not been in a parade probably since Afghanistan, since we came home from Afghanistan, and I don't really care to. It's just like, so yeah. We loved doing that, and then all of a sudden it stopped. You know, we never got invited or whatever. You know, after a while, it was just like, But yeah, we always had a good time, I thought. Yeah, yeah. I don't. They've had some in the area, and if anybody says, "Hey, nope, no, thank you, no thanks, nope, not my cup of tea." I mean, never really was to begin with. Oh my God, when we were at Huachuca for a year, we went to so many change of command ceremonies. Like, we knew line for line just about everything that they were going to say. It's just the names changed. You know, they would have a couple guys on horses representing the old cavalry that was there, and they would ride up and present flowers to the outgoing commander's spouse and then the incoming commander's spouse and all this other stuff. But it was just like, it was like you'd rather be on the gates checking IDs than being in that change of command ceremony. It was like, hated it. We went to so many because they were like, oh, it's the National Guard infantry guys. Oh, look at them. Oh, hated it. And you could. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We do. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't realize, I think. Because you're dealing with trauma, you know, however you look at it, you're dealing with people in traumatic situations. And that weighs on you after a while. 'Cause that doesn't, I always felt that no matter how much you think you're prepared for it, you're never really prepared. Absolutely not. You're never really prepared to deal with it. And yeah, people don't realize that, and some people deal with it very well, and other people, they're just like, it hits them in ways they never expected, you know. And you can try to put everybody in a neat little box and say everybody has to react to it like this. That's not going to be possible. Some people are so callous to it, they just like, whatever, because they've lost their bit of humanity, really. If they've done it so long, that's what I think happens to some people. They lose their humanity. They have no empathy for other people. They're, yeah, I was on flood duty, but it wasn't like serious, like, I was on fire duty, not that it was, like it was a life or death situation, other than the one time in flood duty where we were on levee watch, and we were driving along the levee, and it's like, well, if this thing's breaking, we're driving on it. That doesn't really bode well for us, does it? But yeah, there is a lot of similarities. You give up, you leave home, you leave the comforts of home for however long you have to do it, and but then you come back and you're just like, well, I kind of miss doing this, but that doesn't make sense. Like I told people, I said, there's times where I felt like I'd rather be deployed than be at home, but I know that's not like the best way to look at things, right? That's not what a normal person would expect to hear. But there was times where it was just like, yeah, I might as well. Well, see, for us in the Guard, it was, you could volunteer for, they would always ask for volunteers for like fire or flood duty. And so you could put on state, you got paid very well, actually, and you ate very well. Like the forestry department would have like a mobile kitchen, right? And they would set up, and the food was actually fantastic. You ate very well. So a lot of people who were like, well, I'm not working, and yeah, I could use the money, they were like, yeah, I'll volunteer. So it could be however long they need you. It could be a couple weeks. It could be maybe a couple months. Yeah. Huh. Yeah. I think there was one time I volunteered, and I was at the kind of like our command post that tracked where everybody was sent out, and we were staying at the armory at first, but it was like you never got any sleep really, because the phones would be ringing all through the night for updated reports and stuff. And finally what they did was they contacted a local hotel, and they blocked off rooms for us, and they said, if you want to stay over there, you can go over there. And heck yeah. So it's like, man, finally I got a good night's sleep and all that. Yeah, it's a lot. People don't realize it. You give up those things. Maybe you get a little ribbon out of it, or a certificate, or a coin, or something. But fact, I still got my coins. It's not all. I've lost one over the years, but I still have all my coins that I got from my time in Iraq. Yeah, it's tough. Absolutely. You know, but also like here in America, I don't know if it's the same in Australia, but we're now at a point in our history as a country where most people will not have family members, or they will not know any family member who's served in the military, whether they're full-time or part-time. And there's that widening divide now. So you have a lot of people who think in their mind that they understand. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's one of the things. There's a widening gap. When I met the Sergeant Major of the Army back in 2010, he talked about that. That's 12 years ago, you know. That they said, yeah, we're coming to a point in America where there's going to be people who have never known anybody who served in the military. And so what they think of the military is what they've seen in movies and TV. That's it. And that's not a fair representation. You know. But I've encountered people like that say some of the most outlandish things about service members, and it's like, you don't even know what you're talking about. You know. It's still climbing a tad. The props just get off the RP. No, let's leave it at 95. Let's leave the RPMs. We're good on the RPMs. We're not overstressing the engines, I don't think. Yeah, see, for like if you're in the National Guard, they give you like they call it a state active duty ribbon or something. You know, if you do a phenomenal job, then you get like a Army Achievement or Army Commendation kind of thing. All that stuff counts for promotion points. If you just barely did the work, you know, just kind of showed up, but just, you know, you get a certificate of achievement. That's about it. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So it's interesting because, you know, hold on, yeah. A second here. Continue my commentary here. I just gotta. There we go. My sinuses are just doing a number on me right now. When I watched I don't know if anybody else has seen it. It's really a phenomenal documentary called "They Shall Not Grow Old." The one that Peter Jackson did, where they found all this old film from the BBC, I think, and he colorized some of it and slowed it down. You know, because the limitations of the filmmaking back then. But they were able to clean things up, and you could see things much better. And when towards the end of the movie or the documentary, they're talking about they got, you know, they'd gotten home, and they turned in all their gear, and they went and got suits and all that. There was like tailors. There were like all these tailors are right outside the gate basically, and oh, come over here, let's get you set up with a suit and nice shoes and a hat, and they talked about how they didn't when they were once they got all that stuff and they were like trying to figure out what they were going to do next, they would walk by these shops and there would be signs in the doors of the shops saying, if you served in World War One, do not apply here. It's like, and it was just shocking because at the beginning they talked about how kids, not young men, kids under the age 18 lied about their age to go serve. They was impressed upon them. You better do your part, right? You better do your duty. No, you don't. You wait until you're 18. You better go now. And I'm just like, so they did that, and they come home, and that's what they have coming back. They were told it was their national duty to go fight in World War One. That if they cared about the safety of Britain, they better do their part. And it was just shocking. I'm just like, this isn't like a new thing for Vietnam veterans or anything. This is going all the way back to the Great War. So, even there's a documentary about the soldiers who came back from World War II. I think, I forget who did it. But it was like they showed all these soldiers who came back from World War II, shell-shocked. They struggled to maintain their life in some way. They drank a lot, all kinds of stuff. And it's just like, well, that's interesting. That was never talked about all the years. Why was that why was that never discussed? So that all these things have been going on for years, and then when it comes to light, you're like, why wasn't this? You would have thought that would have been the catalyst for change. Yep, Agent Orange, same thing. Yeah, my family friend who's a medic, he had suffered from Agent Orange exposure. And only now, within the last couple of years, have they said, yep, you were exposed to Agent Orange. Here's some money. But his health is so far gone, he's not going to be around long enough to enjoy that money. His wife, well, they can take care of bills and stuff, but, it's sad. But yeah, it's amazing. When I saw that, I was just floored when I watched They Shall Not Grow Old. I'm just like, and it's not just one country or another. It happened in Germany after World War One and World War II. The German soldiers were not looked upon very well in their own country. It's kind of evident in when I read the book All Quiet on the Western Front. People have these expectations, and they want to hear that you're doing your part. That you're killing the enemy. Maybe you haven't seen the action. Or what are you, a coward? Well, just yeah. Oh, that really. I was shocked when I saw that documentary. I listened to these veterans talk about their experience after they came home. Yeah, it's just absolutely insane. But anyways, well, there we had. We had quite the story time, didn't we? I think a couple people are like, "Yeah, this is a little bit of a heavy conversation for me. I can't handle this." Yeah, well, what can you do? Can't please everybody. Can't be all sunshine and roses and Hallmark movies. That's not real life. Oh, no, no, no! It's not. Oh, no! Don't feel bad about it at all. I don't mind that. Sometimes that's what happens in the chat. Somebody will say something, and yeah, it could go very poorly. But no, I don't. You don't have to apologize for anything. Yeah, but I try not to. I try not to think about it. Although it's not always easy. It's easier said than done. But I try not to let it get to me. But sometimes I can get it ahead of it, and I can say, yeah, I can steer my mind elsewhere. But other times it's like my mind's like, nope, we're gonna go over this over and over again because you haven't thought about it enough, you know. So no, you don't have to apologize at all. Sometimes it's just where the conversation takes us. And some people may understand it and have some sympathy or empathy about it, and other people are like, yeah, I can't be bothered with this today. Yeah. All right, about 141 nautical miles to Seattle. Although it's only almost 5:30 in the morning on the West Coast, the sun is definitely not up this high yet. Sorry, I didn't mean to cough in everybody's ears. Ugh. Ooh, a ZL1 for Bathurst. Good luck with that. Remember, 50 times I think I did races at Bathurst. A couple of driving games I used to play. That's a tough course. Oh, I know. Kind of changing things up. I was. Oh, I tell you, as a photographer, not that I'm a professional, but I was going through my photos yesterday on my external hard drive, and I discovered, and I don't know how it happened or when it happened, but there's files that are gone. Just, I'm like, wait a minute, I know I remember distinctly going in here in Savannah, like there's a big Catholic church there in downtown Savannah. I know I went in there and took pictures, but where are the pictures? I'm going through now. Luckily, I posted them on Flickr, that pictures from that time. So I looked at the dates and I'm like, where did this file go? Gone. For weekends on end, until we deployed to Iraq, one of my buddies was getting a tattoo. He had gotten one kind of started in when he was in Korea, but then he was like, I don't really like it. So he found a really neat tattoo shop in downtown Savannah. So I would go with him, and once he was in, because he's like, it's probably going to be a few hours, I would just grab my camera and go walk around downtown Savannah just taking pictures. Gone. All that stuff is gone. And I'm just like, man, I don't know when it happened. It might have gotten deleted by accident when I was transferring files, and it just suddenly something happened and it just didn't go over, but they're not there. Oh, I was so heartbroken. I'm just like, all that stuff gone. Oh, but yeah. I've been kind of just going through stuff and reminiscing. Found photos that I not necessarily forgotten about, but just they weren't ones that I was just like, So I was doing that last night, kind of as while I was watching Nick on Warfare. Yeah, I was just oh, where, when, why? But luckily, like I said, I've got them on Flickr, but it's just like sometimes I'll go back and revisit my photos, and especially digitally, I can, let me try something different here, and then I'll put it through Photoshop, and I'm like, wow, that's much better than what I did before, So, I have pictures. I used to go to Laguna Seca quite a bit when I lived in the Bay Area, because it was only a few hours drive to the south down there, and just kind of going over some of those photos, some stuff from Sebring when I went there a couple times, especially the 2007 race. Yeah. But it's nice when you can just kind of go back on it and, I remember these photos. Remember this. And, oh, look at that. Because sometimes what I've gotten better at doing is if I go out and take pictures, right, I used to come right home and download them. And then I'd just be like, oh my God, it's crap. So what I've gotten better at doing is, like, I think even like the last time I went to Greenwich for the Concours d'Elegance there, I came home, I didn't download the pictures right away. I waited like almost a week. And then I started downloading them and putting them into their own files. Like I'd break the files, put a file for each car or each vehicle, right? And I put my raw files in where the JPEGs will end up. And then it's like, oh, this is really good. I'm quite pleased with this. But if I'd done it right away, I'd just been, oh, I can't believe I did this. This is garbage. What was I thinking? So I try to get better at that. I don't look at it right away. I'd wait a few days or a week if I can. But then the problem is, and I learned this lesson the hard way when I used to go to Amelia Island. I wouldn't get a, because they put these little placards in front of the car, right? That has like the year, the make, the model, and a bunch of other information. And I wouldn't get those. I wouldn't take a picture of that, right? I would just say, "Oh, I know it's a Ferrari." But then when I would go to label everything, I'm like, "Okay, I know it's a Ferrari, but what year is it?" So I would. Then I'm like going, looking all over, and I'm trying to guess the year based like on the body style. I'm like, okay, this looks like something from the late '50s. So I go through all the 1950s Ferraris and go like, well, it looks like this. But then you have like these one-offs and all kinds of stuff. And oh my goodness, I would spend hours. I would spend a whole day on one car trying to figure out what the year, the make, the model. If it was a one-off, why was it a one-off kind of thing? Oh, it would just drive me nuts. But now it's like, no, let me get a picture of what the car is. I take a picture of the plaque, take a picture of the car, and be like, okay, now I can move on. Because it's when in the like at Amelia Island, you have so many vehicles, and they're all kind of bunched together, right? Or you have stuff that's like, you have these. It's a whole section dedicated to this one particular manufacturer, right? And so it's easy. You're like, oh, I like the way this looks from this angle. I would take a picture of the car, and then I would take a picture of the thing, and then take a picture of the car again. And as I'm sorting stuff, I'm like, well, which one does it belong to? You know? Oh, the sorting process used to drive me nuts. Oh, renaming everything so that I had like the make, the year, car number, whatever. Yeah. Yeah, always like looking at the stuff from Laguna Seca. Oh, nice. Yeah, I used to watch. I used to, well, if I could watch them, but every so often I would catch the V8 supercars back in the day when it was just Holden and Ford. Now it's just like it's changed so much. It's not even what it used to be, where it was just two manufacturers going at it. Um, yeah, it was. I always liked those cars. The ones from the early to mid 2000s, the V8 supercars. I used to, I used to go on the website and get the updates of who won and you know who was leading the championship and who was at the top but fell to second or third place because they didn't finish well. Yeah, because to me it's kind of like, and I'm it feels like it's like the Australian version of stock car racing here, you know. Because in theory you could go to the dealership and buy a Holden or a Ford similar to what you saw on the track, right? And it's like that here in America. You can go to a deal now. It's not exactly the same, but it's the same in name, obviously. So now you have like Mustangs, of course, and Camaros. I almost said Corvettes, Camaros, and so yes, in theory, you could go to the showroom and buy a car that's similar to what you saw stock car racing, NASCAR racing. It's stock car. It's not stock anymore. They're it's just a prefabricated body over a tubular, the chassis. Yeah, I love watching the back then. I'd try to catch the races if I could on TV. Every so often I would tune in to, I don't remember what the channel was, but I would watch the races and uh, yeah. I'm a big admirer because I love taking car photos and everything, but it's a challenge, especially if you're not like a media person or whatever. You know, your access is kind of limited in some ways. Uh, but I love the look of Japanese street photography. I don't know what it is. They can take the most mundane sort of, you know, place and turn it into an amazing photo. And you're just like, I don't understand, but why is it so amazing? It's like, it's just a street with like wires and, you know, but it's like the most fascinating thing ever. I don't understand it. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's just strange that I don't know why I mean, because that was like a big thing, you know, the Holden versus Ford rivalry. For many years, from what I read and understand about the V8 supercars and racing in Australia in general, like that's like the big rivalry. Oh, oh wait. In fact, maybe this would be a good time for me to take a short break. Where's our 60? We're at 41% fuel. I think I calculated, I guessed right. We might just put a few more gallons in there if we have to. All right, I'll be right back, folks. Oops. It looks like we kind of got off track there a little bit. Path. So get back on path here. All right. Which am I know there's a airport back there. Portland. Oh. Oh boy, look at that. Look at that just wow. Wow, just kind of nosed over and Took a turn to the left. That was weird. All right. Check something real quick. Okay, folks. Okay. All right. All right, we're just about at halfway point to Seattle. Okay, let's see here. There's something to check. There's another. That cannot be. I don't think that's Portland. Portland's a much larger airport than that. Let's see. Well, I don't know. This might be about a 2-hour flight. 2.5. Thinking those two planes up there probably either heading for Seattle or taking. They took off. I don't know. They're stuck at 5,000 feet. Really moving. It doesn't seem like. Maybe it's just taking time for the system to. Hello, Luis 87B. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the channel. Do a refresh here real quick. A little bit of a lag here on the. I'm your host and pilot, Uncle B. We're in the Junkers 52. We departed from Roseburg way back there, heading to Seattle. We're doing a tour around America in the Junkers 52. We're We'll be up once we get to Seattle next week. We'll go. I don't know where yet. Uh, from Seattle, I haven't. I have to look to see what our next destination will be. We fly this Mondays and Wednesdays. Thursdays we usually do. We're doing a Route 66 tour. We're just kind of flying from airport to airport. We're not really following Route 66 generally. We're just going from the airport to airport until we get all the way to the end. And Fridays we do general aviation or jetliner stuff. So only 4 days a week: Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Leave Tuesday open for if I have to shift things around for the schedule. I have at least a free day, or if push comes to shove, I can do it on a Saturday. So this Friday we're going to do a flight from Bristol to Malaga. Saturday we're doing a flight from San Francisco to Chicago. Both of those will be in the A319. The flight to Malaga will be in the classic British Airways livery. And Saturday's flight, I think, is United or American. I think it's United Airways. Saturday's flight. Let's see. Yep, United Airways. So there we go. What else we got coming up this week? Thank you for the follow. Greatly appreciate it. I do have a Discord. There's a matter of fact, check this out. Put it in. There it is. It's not a very chatty Discord. It's just a place I can post my flights, for, the flight schedule for the week. If I cancel anything, I put it in the Discord. I do post pictures of the flights on there as well. For flights like this, I do a rudimentary, like a rough plan on SkyVector, and then I pick the runways and all that the morning of the flight, so that it should line up with the weather in theory, even though we're not. This isn't live weather. We just got some clouds and then just a little bit of snow on the ground. Today's flight. Hopefully we're having a good day. All right, 96 nautical miles. And then if you want to fly along at some point, you do use the route command. Most streamers do. And then also the server. Once we land there in Seattle, we'll be wrapping things up for the day. Back on Friday. No flights tomorrow. Things to do. Take precedence over the stream. Kobo. I do also have a YouTube channel. Let me find a command for it, but I've not used it in a while. These get posted about 24 hours after the flight is concluded or the stream's concluded. Because I'm an affiliate, I have to wait to post it over there. Otherwise, I break my affiliate agreement. So yes, that is my YouTube channel. But so usually what I do is I download it, and then once it's all set on YouTube, it'll premiere the next day at about noon Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, I used to stream to both, but once I became an affiliate, they were like, that's a big no-no. So I stream on here and then put it on YouTube and premiere it over there. Oh, I'm still here, folks. I mean, all right. I'm back. Sorry, I just had to take care of something real quick. So yeah, so this will be on tomorrow at about noontime over on the YouTube channel. So if you miss anything, or you could rewatch it here, or you can watch the premiere over on YouTube. Either one. I don't generally hang out in the premiere chat. Uh, every once in a while I've done it, but generally I'm just I have enough of chat here that trying to do both and all that it's a lot to do. So oh, no worries, Saucy. No worries at all. 85, almost 80, just under 86 nautical miles to Seattle. Cruising along here, trying to stay on track. The wind's out of these. I'm flying in a very windy area. Kind of tossing, not really tossing the plane around, but just making it. Ooh. Yeah, I've got knee degeneration in both my knees, and but everybody has said do not get knee replacement. It's for some people they said it's way more uh, painful than just regular knee pain, the arthritis. So. Where? Portland clearance still. That's not approach, that's clearance. That's interesting. We were past Portland. Maybe not. Maybe we're still within their airspace. Should be going to Seattle Center pretty soon, I would think. There we go. Ta-da! Oh yeah, yeah. I've heard about that happening before too. There we go. All right. I need to check something real quick. Doing 1-6 right. We won't do an ILS approach or anything crazy like that. We're just gonna. I just want to get an idea of what our expected altitude should be when we get ready to come in for landing. Oops. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Ooh boy, look at that. Suddenly, ooh boy. Get pushed right up in the air. Alright, we need to be at about 7. Okay, so we don't have far to drop. Oh, nice. Deal, honestly. I remember spending time quite a bit on when I played Forza Motorsports. I would try to tune stuff as best as I could, and sometimes it was just like whatever I thought I was doing, I was heading in the right direction. It was like the exact opposite. Wow, that wind is really pushing us up. So now I'm just going to nose over quite a bit here. We don't want to lose too much altitude yet. Oh, round 3 of the storm. Oof. Yeah, it's a bit rainy here. It's been raining off and on overnight. A little bit this morning, a little drizzle, not like a downpour, but just a little drizzle here and there. There it goes again. Boy, this wind is really... And it's weird because I don't have the live weather on, but there's still enough wind to like keep pushing us off course, and then now I do have to... I have met these streamers who are doing Gen 3 supercar testing, and I'm hoping to... Oh! Nice. Good stuff. Alright, I'm just curious now. Let's see. If the wind is still going the way we want it to go. Okay, it's going to cross me, but we're still going to head for 1-6 right. So, alright. Even though we're not on live weather, but the weather hasn't shifted enough where we should probably think about coming in a different direction or whatever, so. Oh, it froze on you. Okay, interesting. Let me do a refresh real quick. sure it's not. There we go. I think we'll make it with the fuel. We got 73, almost 72 nautical miles to go. I think we'll have enough fuel to get us there. Probably going to be just about, I'm guessing, right about somewhere in the yellow when we go on the final. I'm thinking maybe just above the yellow. Oh, okay. Well, I just figured I'd refresh it just to make sure. I'm thinking those two are at Seattle. They're at the gates. They've been there for quite some time. One's in an A310, the other one's in an A320, maybe? Kind of overlap, but I think I see the end for the, would denote the A320 neo. So, oh, you're welcome. It's better to check to make sure it's nothing on my end. On the DA62. I don't know if they're trying to catch up to me. Kobo? Is anybody in the chat? Is Kobo? Trying to fly with me, or they just got their own thing going on? When? Oh, like when am I going to go to Hawaii? Oh, it'll be a while. I'd like to try to plan for next year, but it may be a few more years yet. But it's on. There's like so many things on my bucket list that I want to. You know, I'd like to go back to Germany as well. You know, like trying to do all those things, or try to on stream Hawaii. I don't know. Well, you know what? Well, next week probably is going to be a short week because I do have to go to an appointment that I wasn't expecting. So there's no stream on the 15th. There may not be a stream on the 16th, but that's up in the air. No pun intended. It would have to be on a Friday. Probably well, if I thought about it, I would have done it today instead of this flight, but probably the 23rd. That's going into the holidays. So I'm going to shoot for the paid car sale photography. Oh, nice. Probably I'm going to shoot for the 23rd of December. That may be we'll do that, and then we'll probably. I'm trying to think how. It probably won't be a very long flight because it's like the 23rd of December, so. Yeah, I'll come up with something. We may take off and then go around the island and come back in over Pearl Harbor and land there. Something like that. Land it. Probably we won't use the internet. Oh, nice. Not at the international airport, but we'll probably go to the smaller one there. So we may take off and kind of do a little loop around the island and then come back and land. So it probably won't be a very long flight on the 23rd. Yeah, I think we'll do it that way. Yeah, so 23rd of December. Okay, perfect. Well, glad to have you along. Make it. Yeah, we'll just do a little flight around the island. Trying to think what. I have to think about which plane to fly. Can't be too slow. Well, I don't know. We put some nice weather on it. I guess it'll be okay. Yeah, I don't know. So, take my car in to get 2 funnel fixes done on the inner wheel guard. Oh, nice. That's not good. Okay. Somebody finally departed from Seattle, I'm guessing. Finding out. Alright, 62 nautical miles. Good day to you. All I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put the landing lights on now. Oh, ooh, that's not good. I'd hate to have something like that come loose and then have to worry about popping the tire by accident. Turn into a very ugly accident there. Yep, there is an A320. Neo was right. Yay. Well, let's just see. If we look at the list, no, not close enough. Ooh. The main issue would be forced. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what I meant. It could have, if you were going at a high speed and it popped, you could have had a big accident. So. All right. 5 nautical miles. Looking good on the fuel. I think we can. I think we can. No, we'll try to. If we have to, we'll dead stick it as best as we can. How about that? Dead thumbstick it. At a minimum. Let's see where we're at now. No, still too far out. I'm just going to leave that right there. So as soon as it pops up. I tried the P40. It's not as... It's like... it's not... Well, yeah, on the Xbox it's not as good as the stuff from... like, who made the Spitfire and the Hellcat and the Lightning. So if you got, I mean, we could do it in a Spitfire. Oh, I don't know because I've not flown the P-51, but it doesn't, it just, if I compare it to like the Spitfire, well, the Spitfire is a bit of a handful. If I compare it to the, I guess the Spitfire would be the closest because they're both big engines, but it's just a bit more of a handful than the Spitfire is. But they're from two different developers. I think Big Radials they've not done an update on the P40 at all that I've ever seen on the, you know, when they have the weekly updates. So I don't know if that's something that's coming in the near future, or if they're just kind of like, it is what it is, and you know. So yeah, I was a bit disappointed with it. You know, I tried it and I was like, ooh, I'd like to have a different warbird to fly, and it's just, yeah. But we could do like the P-38 if you got that, or if you got the Hellcat, that'd be fine as well. Because for me, it's like, if I'm going to do it, I like to be able to have like the autopilot, like that little electronic flight bag, as they call it, that you can put the autopilot on and it'll hold you at the altitude and heading and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I might. So if you want to do any of those three, I'd be happy to do that. Well, you can fly whichever you feel comfortable flying. It's up to you. You want to fly the P-51 or whatever, do what you feel comfortable with. It's all good. I'm a bit disappointed in Big Radials. Their updates are not as forthcoming as like Flying Iron. They work. It may not be immediate, but they do work on their, you know, updates and stuff. Like, it took a while for the, like, when I first got the Spitfire, it was just kind of like, wow, this is not good. But they've really turned it around. But it's also kind of, I got used to it, and landing and all that was pretty decent. But then now it's just kind of like gone back to being a handful. So it's like, you know, you land and it just wants to go off to the right or left. So, yeah. But I don't mind flying like the Lightning or the Hellcat. Either one would be fine. Because there is like a military part over on the international airport. We could start up and taxi out from there and then go around the island one way or the other and then come back, fly over Pearl Harbor and then land. All right, 45. Yeah, yeah. There's a place. I kind of know what you mean. In Savannah, where I was stationed at, the building where 8th Air Force used to be headquartered in downtown Savannah, they turned it into like I think the American Legion uses it now. They have like a meeting hall and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't have the F-22 because the only one that's available on the Xbox is the one from Braddock, and it's not like I wouldn't like I could fly the F-35, but the F-22, no, I steer clear of Braddock stuff right now. They're another one that their updates are very few and far between. I don't know if that's on purpose or if it's just like they're waiting for certain things to come out that they're still working on it. I don't know, but yeah, I don't mind flying the P-38. I think that'd be fun. You do a warbird flight around the island. Mick, if you want to join us on the 23rd, if you able to, if you get permission, join on the warbird flight as well if you want. Yeah, uh, yeah, I was kind of excited about the F-22, and then when I looked at it, I was just like, and my initial thoughts of it were just like, nah, it doesn't look very good, to be honest. But if it stays online, yeah. So yeah, I mean, we'll do it. It won't be a very long flight. We'll just go out and circle around and come back. Um, I don't know how long it would take a P-38 to fly around the island and go around. I can't think it'd take too long because it's a pretty fast little plane. So oh yeah, been to the museum there, Warner Robins. I think they have an F-16 there. I don't remember. I know they have F-15s there. They have one in the museum for that was based out of Warner Robins in Georgia. There, I think that it's one that was used in the Gulf War, if I remember correctly. We don't. That's the one thing I don't like about this area. I don't have anything. There's like we have a small airport, but they used to do a like an aircraft show, air show, and they haven't done it in a while. I don't know. I don't think they even did it, like in 2019, just before the pandemic hit. Um, but yeah, I've not been to an air show in quite a while. I like to, I like to get to an air show and an aircraft museum. I think there's one in Texas that they do one that you can get tickets. I forget where it is in Texas. You get tickets to the show, and then you also get admission to the museum. I think it was like that when I went up to Spencer, North Carolina for the Streamliner locomotive show or gathering, as they called it. Um, Admission to the museum was also included. Nice. Hey, Chope 329, thank you for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. Wumpy TV, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. Welcome. My name is, I'm your host and pilot, Uncle B, and Drop Pallet. We're in the Yukers 52. We're on our way to Seattle. We took off from Roseburg Municipal Airport a few hours ago. Hello, Mr. Paul 52. Thank you for the follow. Thank you, Choke 329 for the follow. Oh, you know, Aussie knows you. Well, thank you all for the raid. Thank you, Aussie. Appreciate that. So yeah, we're in the Yukers 52. We're doing our tour around America. This is leg 25 of our flight around America in the Yukers 52. This is the retrofit model. Got a few more bells and whistles than the standard model. So we're 35, almost 34 nautical miles out from Seattle. Just waiting for it to show up on the list so we can say, hey, we're coming in for landing. Thank you for that. Greatly appreciate it. Nice to have you all here. Hopefully you're having a good day. We'll be back Friday. We're doing an A319 flight from Bristol to Malaga. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought maybe when you said that, I thought maybe they were friends of yours that you were like, hey, go raid this guy real quick or something. But that's fine. Thank you. So yeah, we're no flights tomorrow. But we'll be back on Friday. We're doing that flight, and then Saturday we're doing another jetliner flight from San Francisco to Chicago. So we usually start at about 7:10 Eastern, 12:10 UTC. So adjust your times accordingly. Not sure we have lots of people from all over the world watching, so I don't know where everybody lives. So I just put my time zone and then the UTC, and then people do the math from there. So nice to have you all here. Thank you. We appreciate the raid. Good stuff. We'll be on the ground soon. Well, not soon, but soon enough. Just waiting for the name to pop up on the list there. Ready to land. Okay. Another age test for. Oh, Windows XP Space Cadet pinball game. Oh, I remember a pinball. Like when I was a kid, we had our first PC was an IBM PC Junior, and there was a flight. Now it wasn't Microsoft Flight Sim, but there was a flight sim that I had on there. It had an F-16 and an F-18. Were the only two planes, and you could take off. If you were in the F-18, you could take off from the carrier and land on land, or you could come back, and I think you could land on the carrier as well. But it wasn't very detailed. It was just like very rudimentary graphics. But I do remember like a pinball game. I did buy a PC later on that I had games on. It might have been something like that. I don't remember, but I do remember a pinball game on the PC. So I remember pinball games in the arcade kind of thing. Matter of fact, I think you were in Scruffy's stream when we were talking about all the video games from the arcades kind of thing. always saving up the quarters to go to the arcade on a Saturday or. Yeah. Yeah, I was. We had a miniature golf course near where I live, or used to live in California, and they had an arcade there. So, during the summer, get some money, save up some allowance, and then go get some quarters and play Asteroid and all kinds of video games. Yeah. And then if I really saved up my money, I could take the bus over to the mall, and they had like a food court, and then they had a arcade behind the food court. So I could go and get a hot dog on a stick and a lemonade, and then still have enough money left over to go play on the video games. And they had some of the, because I guess they could get the newer stuff was there. The older stuff was at the miniature golf course there. Wink 1980, thank you for the follow. Brett Tree 33, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. What a great way to spend the Wednesday. Thank you. Appreciate that. I do have a Discord. We used to do a keyboard command to flip the screen, and then we disconnected the key. Oh, wow. I do have a Discord. It's not a very chatty one, but I do post like the schedule for the week. If I'm not going to be flying, I'll put it in there that the stream's canceled for the day. But then I also post like a rough flight plan from SkyVector. I'm not a real world pilot, so I just use it just for VOR to VOR flights, and then post pictures from the flights as well. But it was never me. Yeah. I never got that good with a computer where I could do something like that. But. So yeah, do join that if you just want to keep track of what I'm up to. There's a space there. I post stuff from aviation-related channels. I've been posting stuff from a Navy pilot, Growler. His YouTube channel, Growler Jams. He's an F-18 Growler pilot. He'll just show videos from like the cat shots and landing and tank, when you have to refuel in the air and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Anything motorsports related, I find some stuff for that as well. Just to something different. How are they not list? Lewis McCord's on the list. Maybe Lewis McCord's before. Seattle-Tacoma. I think it is, actually. Alright, pretty soon, folks, what's going to happen is I'm going to focus on landing. Not just yet, but I will kind of distract and keep my eyes off the chat. Get us on the ground. If you have any comments, if I happen to miss them, it's nothing personal. I do believe my number one mod, Mick, is here. If he can answer the question, I'm sure he'll be happy to. If not, I will catch up with the chat once we're on the ground. It's under control and we're taxiing off the runway. Oh, yeah, see, there you go. So it works, hey. yeah, if you want to join, you're more than welcome to. Like I said, it's not a very chatty Discord, not like other Discords. It's just more for information purposes. So, we did do a flight. Originally, we did well. It started in Amsterdam. We were in the Fokker F7B, the tri-motor, but it's a high wing. It was very difficult to fly, and I think hopefully next year they're gonna fix the flight model. But we pressed the Junkers 52 back into service somewhere around Greece, I believe, and flew the rest of the way to Indonesia. Broke it up into. Oh, well, thank you. The So yeah, I broke it up. It was a real world KLM route from Amsterdam all the way down to the West Indies, now Indonesia. The Dutch was no, I'm sorry, not the West. The Dutch, formerly known as the Dutch East Indies, is now Indonesia. But it took them a week. No, it's okay, Aussie. But I broke it up into chunks, and it took quite a while to do. But we finally made it all the way, or as close to where they landed as possible in Indonesia. So, huge fan of the Junkers 52. That's what we're up to. And I don't think tomorrow, but maybe next week, there is supposed to be an update out for this aircraft. We said it about mid-December, so I'm hoping. I'd be surprised if it's tomorrow, but I'm guessing more like the 15th or maybe even the 22nd. Alright, 15 nautical miles. I can't believe, why are they not on the list yet? It's all these little airports, I think that's the problem. Wow. Okay. It's got to be like right. Guessing it should be like right there. It should be Seattle-Tacoma right there. I think anytime we've flown in here before, it's like you almost have to be right on top of the airport before it shows up on the list, because there's all these little small fields around here. I'm not sure if I can filter them out so that I only see, airports of a certain size. That's positive of that. Nope, maybe not. So, oh, it was on. It's near the road. Never mind. That's got to be it then. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. Chat here. Don't miss anything. I am until we're ready to land. Very good. See? All right, there we go. So it should be way out there, our pattern entry. Should be like right out here somewhere. Oh, there it is, right there. Even a little bit farther out than I expected. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to make a wide left turn into 16 right, which is should be at the end of this runway right over here. Clouds. All right, folks, let me focus on the landing, and I will get back to the chat. Appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out today. You've enjoyed today's flight. Thank you again, Raiders. Appreciate it. Thank you for all the follows as well. Vortex is like right over there somewhere. Oh boy, we nosed way over there. So basically, for those of you not, just so to kind of go over some things that we're going to do. So once we line up, I'm going to try to come in as flat as possible and get over the threshold with just enough speed to get us there. It's a pretty long runway, so I feel pretty confident we've got plenty of space if we need to kind of float a little bit above the runway to bleed off a bit of speed before we touch down. We'll do that, but it's probably not the most conventional way of landing this plane, but I have it muted, so I didn't notice, Austin. So it's okay. I mute my laptop so I don't hear, like, if I hear my Discord or I hear something, I immediately think, oh, I got to check it out. So then I get distracted. So it's fine. So yeah, I use a standard controller. I don't have a flight stick or throttle and all that. So I'm probably developing some bad habits on the Xbox with the standard controller, but when I do get a PC at some point and the yoke and throttle and all that, I'm going to have to kind of learn how to fly all over again. So we'll go back to flight school and start from scratch. Try to break those bad habits that I probably developed out of necessity more than need. Well, I was about right over the fuel, so yeah, put on just enough to get us here. A little bit extra if we had to do a go around. Refresh here real quick. Okay. So next week on Monday, we'll depart out of here, out of Seattle. We'll head east from here. I don't know where we're going to head to yet. We'll see what we can do. A lot of people were pretty fond of that new Vision jet, from what I understand. Oh, I think the wind switched. That should be the airfield for where Boeing is right there. Remember, I think that's where it is right there. I think the wind. Well, we're not on live weather, so it's all right. It would not surprise me if the wind shifted, blowing towards north. I don't think we're heading into a headwind. Surprise if we really go. Quick. Nope, we're in a crosswind. Okay, well, the live weather says it's a crosswind. If I look at the METAR for Seattle, it's a crosswind coming into 16 right, so that's fine. Should be the point for field right there. They're probably going to tell us to go park at the fuel stand since we're not quite on fumes, but it would definitely be in need of some fuel. Continue on from here. Little bump coming up. There we are. On behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, I'd like to welcome you to Seattle-Tacoma. Local time is almost 7 o'clock in the morning. 6:53. We understand and appreciate the fact that it's Wednesday, and sometimes we just need a little push to get us over the hump into the weekend. We appreciate the fact that you were able to join with us today and watch the stream. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Do join us on Friday, 7:10 Eastern, 12:10 UTC in the A319 with service from Bristol to Malaga. We'll be at our parking spot momentarily. Not as quite as good as the landing yesterday, but pretty darn close. Yeah, I'm exiting right now. Goodness gracious. I'll be all fussy. Oop. What the heck just happened there? Wait, what? It looks like my plane's sinking. Look at that. What? What is going on here in Seattle? Oh my goodness. My plane is in the ground. It sank. Let's go here. 121.7. There we go. Parking, please.
Seattle ground jumpers Delta, Charlie Delta Lima Hotel taxi to parking.
Look at that. It's like there's a weird. That is strange. Look at that. Now, oh, it was like there was a dip in the ground or something. What in the world? Hello, Joseph. It's fine. It's okay. Do what you gotta do, young man. It's all good. You don't have to apologize for being late. It's not like you're getting paid to be here. It's fine. However, Mick might not be so forgiving, of course. Yeah, that's strange. Alright, now it seems normal. Yeah, it's like there was a dip in the ground over there. That was weird. It's just fine, Joseph. If you can be here for the flight, then it's fine. If not, it's fine too. You have a life to live. You should live it. Then you got here just after we touched down. It was a pretty decent landing. Not as good as yesterday's, though. I have to admit, yesterday's was phenomenal. Today's was good. I thought I was gonna nail it again, but I didn't. Pretty close though. I think I've been through this airport once. Flying. This is like I flew in here for something and then, had to change planes here. I'm trying to remember what it was for though. Been to Lewis McChord before. Did it say taxi to fuel? Nope, just general aviation park. Surprised it didn't tell us to go to the fuel stamp. Boy, pretty big airport. There's our parking spot right over there. Oh boy, the brakes were not. Oh, I might have injured the ground crew member there. Oops. Alright, let's get our lights off here. You would have thought he would have gone running as soon as he saw me pull in. Alright. There's the engines coming off. Turn that off. That off. And 1, 2. 229. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Quite happy with that. That was about, I think it was about 235. So we got there a little bit quicker than we expected. Let me just put my hours in real quick on my virtual airline, then we'll wrap things up for the day. I do appreciate everybody coming in today and hanging out. Thank you again for the raid earlier. Quite awesome. Nice surprise today. That was at 12:19. Okay, SCA at 14:48. Bingo. All right, there we are. Well, thank you, Joseph. Nice comment coming in at the end. I'm kidding, of course. Thank you. Anyway, that will do it for today, folks. We'll be back Friday in the A319 British Airways service from Bristol to Malaga. So do join us for that. Should be a couple hours in the air, I think. So should be a nice flight into Spain there. And yeah, and then we're doing again Saturday. We're doing San Francisco to Chicago, United Airlines flight, which is a real world route from. Going to try to go as close to real world as possible. So anyway, do enjoy the rest of your. You're welcome, Joseph. Do enjoy the rest of your Wednesday morning, afternoon, evening, early Thursday. Somewhere in the world, it's already Thursday. Just never know where. You know, those time zones will get you. You don't pay attention. Thank you again, Chope 329. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right. Thank you for the raid and for the follows from your raiders. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you again, Lewis87B, for the follow as well. So, thank you. Really enjoyed having you all here today. I will see you all Friday. Do enjoy the rest of your day. I have been and always shall be your host and pilot, Uncle B. Until then, peace, live long and prosper.